Hello everyone, Denise here. We're going to be talking today about body awareness and energy check-in. And gosh, like for a long time, I did not check in with my body. I did not check in with my energy. 7 years ago, Denise didn't even know what that meant. I did not know what that meant at all. To check in with my body and check in with my energy, and then what to do about it. But in this healing journey with the Lunar Cycle program, we do that. We do that every single month, and we check in and we jump timelines every time. And these timelines, for example, I have been able to heal generational and childhood traumas that would take normally a person 20, 30, 40 years, multiple lifetimes. And I've done it in a period of 4 or 5 years, really fast, really, really well too. Very incredibly strategic in the way that I have been able to heal myself. And in order to become aware of all of these practices, to be able to teach them, to be able to guide others through them, to be able to guide my son. I didn't really have a lot of time. The moment I gave birth 7 years ago, I realized I do not want to pass on so many ways that I know I am subconsciously working out of. My entire life has been functioning out of this, up until that point, had been functioning out of these subconscious programming. And when I saw my son, I knew that had to end. And I remember one of the biggest awarenesses I had was, this is gonna make me, like having a child is gonna make me a slave to the system of healthcare, a slave to the system of school, the police department, like all of these things that I didn't really know back then were the matrix. I already knew, like my soul knew, my higher self knew, and that was a big shock. Because I truly loved this human being, and I felt truly responsible for this soul, for this innocent, pure, new soul that had just stepped into the world. And I had done that. I had brought him into this world, and I sure felt very responsible to protect that sacredness of not passing on these traumas and these nonsensical things that really, really, really hurt my soul and derailed me from my soul's path. That was not going to happen to him. I was going to do things better for him. I was going to do things better for me. And that was the key. That was the key to do better for him. It was to do better for me first and be able to guide by example, guide with the energy. And checking in with the energy. Now, I have a lot of practices that I do. It's basically my full-time job. What I do is just taking care of my energy and taking care of myself. It's a full-time work. It's a full-time job, taking care of yourself. I'm using Palo Santo here. This is my absolute favorite to cleanse the energy. And it smells so, so good. And it's an instant shift in energy. You can get these things literally anywhere, but I recommend crystal shops, and crystal shops are really good about having good Palo Santo. Of course, you can order them online as well. I'm not a fan of Amazon. I actually haven't shopped on Amazon in over a year. So it's possible. Not saying you have to stop shopping on Amazon. I'm just saying I haven't, and I haven't needed to either. That was one of my addictions too. That was one of the ways that my energy would leak a lot, and money is energy. And I would leak a lot of energy by shopping online, just nonsensically. So I cut that off. That was part of the addiction reprogramming that I had to do for myself so that I can protect my energy and move forward. I don't like to have a whole lot of things anymore. I used to have a lot of things, and I gave up a lot of things. I gave away pretty much all my things, and I've learned that I want to keep it that way. I haven't really, I've learned that I like very minimal things, and I like to shift that energy each month as to not, with clothes, with food, with all of the things. So there's very, very, very little things that I keep with me and that have been with me for a while, but usually I keep the energy moving. So that's one way that I check in with my energy, is always checking in to see like what needs to go, what needs to be moved, what do I have that I need to put into action for one of my goals, one of my manifestations that I'm putting together, energy exchange. How can I use it to create my manifestation? And if it's not in alignment, I let it go. Okay, I don't always donate it. Sometimes I straight up throw it in the garbage, and I'm not afraid to say that, because the goal is to get rid of the energy so that I can welcome the new energy. That whole donation mindset, yeah, it's nice to pass it along, but if you don't want it, why would somebody else need that type of energy? Sometimes what doesn't serve us serves others, but what serves me most, and that's priority here when we're on this journey, what serves you most is to release the energy so that you can welcome the new energy as quickly as possible. We don't have until next month to do this. We have today. So when it comes up, we do it. We also, in the Lunar Cycle program, check in every Sunday and clean out our closet. So that's one way to really keep the energy moving and keep things moving forward and keep the energy clean and keep manifestations coming in alignment with what you're asking currently in the present time, in this timeline, in the present moment. And the other side of that is to check in with your body. There are some things that have been coming up for me today and this happens all the time, right? This happens all the time, but today specifically, because it's this conscious body awareness and energy check-in that I do on day 4 of the new moon, I was able to tune into this really, really dense, stuck energy. And I notice that so well now, because I don't keep dense, stuck energy in my body anymore. So when it is there, it's like the loudest alarm you could possibly hear. And it becomes a priority for me to tend to it and move it. And in that practice of how do I tend to it and how do I move it, that is part of the day. That becomes part of the practice of what I'm meant to be doing. So my own energy, even though it's dense and it's heavy and it's something that I'm healing from and it's helping me move forward, also helps me tune into my practices that maybe I haven't done for a few days, a few weeks, whatever it is. So I get to do it, because there's so much to do and we can't do everything every day. But if we do a little bit every day, we can get it done in the lunar cycle. So today I was cleaning my energy. It's something I do every day, but I was using Palo Santo specifically, and I was really, really, really tuning in and doing self-Reiki. If you're a Reiki practitioner, if you know Reiki, if you're familiar with Reiki, Reiki is source energy. Okay, it's our birthright to have access to the source energy. The Reiki, I know this happens to me, and I know this for all of the Reiki practitioners out there. If you're familiar with Reiki and you've practiced Reiki, the only way that Reiki is going to work cleanly on another person, especially your children or your spouse, your partner, your significant other, or your clients, the only way you are able to move that energy through your vessel is for you and your vessel to be clean. Otherwise, you're passing on things that don't need to be passed on to people. So cleaning your energy intentionally as a practitioner is priority, complete priority. And doing that on yourself is always going to be something that the energy is going to redirect you to. If you could be the most incredible practitioner, if you're not tending to your own Reiki needs, it's time you start. Like immediately. Please, for the sake of humanity, do not continue to practice Reiki on other people if you're not practicing it on yourself. Please, if you're watching this, do not practice Reiki on your children, on other people, unless you're practicing it on yourself first. Clean your own vessel, clean your own energy before you go out there and tend to other people's needs. Because now you are able to tend to them from a clean space, from a balanced space, and you're able to be an open vessel, a clear vessel to channel the lightest, most powerful energy that you can give to someone else in that process of energy transfer. So Reiki, even if you don't do it on other people, as a parent, to be able to do it on yourself and to be able to do it on your kids, it's life-changing. Cleaning your own energy and cleaning your children's energy is life-changing, especially if they're in public school and if they're around people all the time. Children are very sensitive to energy, and they will pick up on other people's energy. And it's not always something that they know how to handle, something they know how to manage. So this is part of what we do, and part of the dream of the Temple of the Moon and the Sun is to be able to practice for the parents and the children on themselves, to practice with this energy cleansing and energy practices, that we can practice good energy hygiene, because that is priority. As a nurse, I never did that when I was a nurse at the hospital, and I did not know any nurse or any healthcare practitioner that would do anything like that, cleanse their energy. So that's super important to do, as a practitioner, to clean and tend to our own energy. Otherwise, we're constantly bringing in other people's energy into our energy field, and that has nothing to do with us, and it derails you from your focus, and it derails you from your path. And kids don't really know why they could be so anxious and so erratic all the time, and they're not grounded, and they're jumping around, and they're forgetting things, and they don't know why they're lying, and they don't know why they're doing things. They have too much energy that it's not grounded, and it's not theirs. And they don't even know how to deal with it. And as parents, we need to be their guides. We need to be their compass. We need to be their energy coach. We need to be our children's energy coach. And the only and best way to do that is to be our own energy coach. And they get to practice with us, and they get to learn this very, very special and important part of being human, which is tending to our spiritual needs, tending to our energy, and being able to feel safe in our body, feel safe in your own energy. In your own energy. It's so precious. It's so good to be comfortable in your energy. And once we start to practice energy with meditation, oh my God, the power that you get to feel inside of you and the things that you get to process, you really have a completely different experience in moving your energy through, and even feeling on certain thoughts that come through and certain mindsets that can come through. I mean, they're not always bad. A lot of the times, they're really good stuff, like the things that you're trying to manifest, like your dreams and your goals that you're trying to manifest. When you tune in during meditation, and you're able to feel your power, and you're able to move and feel that peace and that calmness, and really focus on your intention, and really focus on the things that are blocking your intention from being actualized, then you're really able to move that energy and be in control. Bring back your control, real control. Bring back your power, your real power, and really get to know who you are and get to know yourself through processing these emotions and processing these energies, and then seeing how life just unfolds so quickly. So as much as I love doing Reiki on other people, it's a very rare thing that I do Reiki on someone else. Very, very rare. Because I'm always doing Reiki on myself, I'm always doing Reiki on my son, and that takes a lot of energy and time. So what I mostly like to do is teach you how to do your own Reiki and how to do that on yourself, on your children, on your partner, and how to safely do it for your clients. Because it is a beautiful experience to be able to perform Reiki on someone else. But the power comes in learning how to do it yourself also. And that would be the most important thing in this body awareness and energy check-in. I was talking about things that I was processing today that were bringing up a lot of that dense energy, and I felt anger. I felt anger actually creating like a barrier in my energy, because there were things that I was allowing in my life and I was allowing in my relationships that for too long I was allowing that. And in the past, I didn't take action the way that I needed to because of really old patterns that no longer serve me. So now, in order to shift into this new version of me, I must acknowledge that these patterns are no longer serving me. And in order for me to not repeat them, I must allow that anger and that energy to create those barriers within me and show me where I'm abandoning myself, so that I don't do that again. So it's like this little that wants to come out and say, you can't do that anymore. That we are not going to allow that anymore. And I have to honor that part of me and say, thank you for reminding me. Thank you for showing me how to protect myself. Thank you for showing me how to properly create boundaries with myself and with other people so that I can continue to have this safe relationships and continue to have this empowering relationships that last for many, 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 many years to come in a healthy way. And we can all respect each other's energy and respect each other's boundaries so that we don't continue to repeat old patterns that cause harm and pain and trauma. Yeah, because now we're functioning out of love. We're not functioning out of our traumas. And it requires different actions from us. It requires different words from us, and it requires for us to be able to know these things ourselves first in order to be able to communicate them with other people in a safe way where they can see us and accept us and listen. And the right friends, the right relationships will honor your boundaries, will listen to your boundaries, and will respect them. And in fact, they will love you for it, because now they know how to treat you. Now they don't have to guess how to treat you. They know exactly how to treat you, and they can say, yes, I can do this, or no, I can't do this. And that is on you and on the other person. If they cannot honor your boundaries, then you know that that's not a safe relationship for you. And you can make a healthy decision from there of what to do and how to move forward. So That's it for this body awareness and energy check-in today. I'd love to hear what other type of energy check-ins you like to do. There's many things that we practice, and everybody has their own. Every month is different, every day is different, and we can practice different things, or you could be a creature of habit and consistency and do exactly the same thing every day. I can't do that. But there are a lot of things that I do religiously for myself, and I just get better at it. So it's still not the same, because each time we improve, each time I improve, each time it gets more intense, and add a little bit of sass to it and roll with it. We're not so strict. You know, we're working with flow here. We're working with improving and raising the energy. And in order to raise the energy, is we have to work with the energies that we have available to us on that day, being able to flow with what's going on that day. So we have to be a little bit flowy and malleable, while also sticking to our time line. Like today, I had to do this much later in the day than I wanted to, because I was really busy tending to myself all morning, more so than I normally have had to. So here we are. We're still doing it, and we're still moving forward. We're still making stride. We're still creating tons of healing, creating tons of progress, and staying in the energy of love, staying in the energy of joy, authenticity, and honoring these feelings, honoring who we are, honoring who we're becoming, and learning how to be loyal to ourselves, continue to honor ourselves, instead of going into old patterns of self-abandonment and self-betrayal, which do not serve us and will be shown to us through other people that are in our energy and are around us. So the more we shift that within ourselves, the more we can ask for that from the people around us. Even if they're used to the old version of you, you can learn to ask for these relationships to shift, and honoring your new boundaries. Some people may take a little time, and that's up to you how much time you want to give them, how much patience you want to have. But love is patient and love is kind. So number one is be patient and loving with yourself and with your children, and everybody else let be. Love you.